last team to the podium is Opelika, our host team here in the city of Opelika. They're coached by Jonathan Chandler. The Bulldogs had a heck of a run last year. They were 10-4 under Coach Moore. They went to the championship game in Birmingham, played Thompson. Had a little tough game there, but they did it out. Should not take anything away from the incredible year they had last year. We've got a brand new coach, Jonathan Chandler. Coach Chandler played at Opelika, and before Van took over broadcasting, I did 37 years of Opelika football, and he was one of my favorite quarterbacks. He was pretty sporty. Now, he didn't play quarterback his sophomore year. I'll let you ask Coach McCracken why. He won 10 games his sophomore year, didn't play his junior year, went to fullback, running back, and came back and won 12 games his senior year, right? I got a good mind. You can ask Coach Cracken why he didn't quarterback his junior year. We won't get into that. But anyway, Jonathan Chandler to the mark.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, D-Mark. Your memory is still sharp. Still have not got a solid answer to that question from Coach McCracken. I think by my name on the roster book it said athlete, not quarterback, so maybe that's why. But as always, we greatly appreciate iHeartRadio and Fox Sports The Game for hosting us here at First Baptist Church Opelika. Very familiar with this place here at the 316 Centers where we host our Bulldog lunches once we get into the season. But we're very excited about this upcoming season. Obviously, we're going to continue to build off of the firm foundation and the standard that's set at Opelika from Coach Moore to Coach Speakman, Coach Ross, Coach Blackman, and of course Coach Vince McCracken, and those that have come before. We understand that we're really getting the keys to the Ferrari here at Opelika. We just got to make sure that we keep gassing it. I brought 5 of our great senior leaders here with us today. Defensive lineman Money Thomas, who is a vocal leader for us. He's our locker room guy. Reese Beasley, who was an All-State kicker and punter last year. Also to my left here, Braden Howard, who's currently committed to Arkansas State. To my right, we brought Trey Stone, starting middle linebacker, who's committed to Appalachian State. And then our senior offensive guard, Darius Whitlow, who was also an All-State player last year. We've got a great group of senior leaders and senior group that's returning back for this upcoming season. And the great part about inheriting this team and becoming the head football coach at Opelika is these guys understand what it takes to be one of the last teams standing off of their success from last year. And that's important going forward. They understand that the work that you have to put in, the daily grind that you have to put in, the process that goes into all those things to ultimately accomplish the goal that every team wants to accomplish at the end of the year, and that's to hold that blue map up. But we're a process-driven program, and we understand that if we put all of our focus on holding that blue map at the end of the year, we're going to trip up and fall along the way somewhere. So all of our focus is on August the 27th. We'll open the season. We'll have to sit out that week 0. Unfortunately, we've been through 3 or 4 teams that we've had on the schedule that canceled on us. So we'll be getting prepared. We're going to be very creative with how we approach fall camp. We'll start fall camp next week. We'll go for 3 days and open up the first day of school on August the 6th. We're going to get the players off all the chaos and everything that goes on with the first day of school. So we thought it was wise to take practice off that day, and then we'll treat that second week of fall camp is really our true first week as we get into preparations for Hoover on August the 27th. That game's going to be really special and big for the city of Opelika and really the whole East Alabama area. It's the Alabama High School Athletic Association game of the week. That's why that game is on Thursday, August the 27th. So it'll be an opportunity for the young men on our team to display their talents and put a great product on the field on that Thursday night for statewide television. So again, we're looking forward to that game. As we go forward, we've had a great winter, spring, summer off season. We wrapped up our summer practice yesterday morning, which is Tuesday, and we're entering that 4th phase now, which is getting into fall camp and preparing for that first game against the Hoover Buccaneers. We've done a lot of incredible things. I think over 95% of our football team has gotten out into the community and served at least 5 service hours. And that's a credit to our coach Ben Landers, who's in charge of our Dominant Dog Leadership Program. We understand that there are a lot of people that help and support in our immediate community and the outside community that really trying to preach the message to these young men that they're, to make our place go. And for us to have the resources that we need, that we have to go out and show our face and give back to our community. And we take pride in doing that. Our strength and conditioning program is led by Coach Cade McGee. I've been very impressed with that. And the work that we continue to do. I think from when I got there in January to the end of May, our team body weight average was up 14 pounds. And that's a credit to what we're doing in the weight room. We also educate our players and our parents about nutrition and what nutrition looks like, putting the proper things in their body. A lot of our guys are going to get an opportunity to go to college and they get that open meal plan at that cafeteria. And that's kind of the one gap that we're always focusing on bridging. is making sure that they get the proper nutrition in them, so they can have the fuel in their body to work, but also put the fuel in their body so they can continue to grow. So once again, we're looking forward to the season, for the things to come. We're open for questions at this time.
Good afternoon, Coach. You have the opportunity to come back to your alma mater to coach the next generation of Bulldogs. What lessons can you take away from your time playing for Opelika that you can instill in your players as you get ready to start this first season?
Yeah, well, I'm a product of my coaching philosophy, and that's relationship first, being a player's first head coach. And again, I'm a product of that. Coach McCracken really taught us those ways and those lessons. At some point in time, football is going to end for us, whether it's in high school, college, or professional ranks. And we're really focused on building these young men up through our character education program, which was put in place during my senior season in 2005. And to show you how important that character education program is, our school has adopted that program. The city of Opelika has adopted that program. We have a character word of the month. So we spend a lot of time in character, spend a lot of time in the good book. So teaching those life lessons to build up these young men to be just that, be good young men, be good husbands and fathers one day. And there are a lot of hard lessons that you still learn in the game of football. Understanding that at some point in time in life you're going to face some adversity. So it's not necessarily hitting adversity head on, but it's how do you respond to that adversity. And I've learned all those values and all those lessons through my time playing at Opelika and my time playing at Troy.
Coach, it sounds like you've been learning your players a lot during the summer, but what is left to learn before the first game of the season?
Still figuring out who kind of wants to step up and be that guy. We've got a lot of guys that have contributed in main places, but who's going to step up and be that main guy for us? Who's that guy that we can count on when it's 3rd and 1, and who's going to come up and make a play? And we've done a lot of creative things. We've added a couple new coaches to our staff. Our offensive coordinator, Cody Hodges, is very excited about him. He was the offensive coordinator at Benjamin Russell High School last year. Prior to that, he was at Montgomery Catholic, where they won back-to-back state titles in 2024 and 2025. So he understands what it takes to be there at that end game at the end of the year, but he also understands offensive football. And our offense will have a new look to it. We'll be a little bit more spread out. We're still going to stick to the true values of Opelika football. And as Coach Hodges says, we're going to throw the football to score points, but we're going to run the football to win some games. And alongside him, we brought one of his fellow coaches, Coach Tyler Price, that's heading up our wide receiver corps. So doing some good things. And really offensively, we have all production that we must replace. A lot of production from last year. They had 3 or 4 seniors that graduated at wide receiver. 2 great running backs, C.J. Johnson and Jordan Waits. So we're excited about guys that are stepping up into those positions. And then defensively is where our stronghold is. We've got 9 returning starters from last year's team. We don't necessarily have starters. We have what's called standards. We're going to play multiple guys on both sides of the football and then special teams. I think on defense, we rotate about 20 guys that go out and play. And so on the defensive side of the ball, I was able to hire Malcolm Buggs, who's a former Opelika Bulldog. He graduated in 2015. So again, bringing guys back that understand what it means to put on that red and black jersey.
Coach, over here, just looking at the back half of the schedule, 4 of those last 5 games are on the road, and it's against really good teams too. Just kind of what's going to be key to getting ready for that tough road stretch?
Yeah, that's a great question. We kind of took looked ahead on that a little bit, and really is how we set up our summer practice plan. And we're strategic about how we organize our organized team activities, which are times where you can go and actually practice against another team. And we got on the road and traveled for both of those. We went and competed up at 17 Springs and Millbrook against Stanhope, Elmore, and Elmore County. So we put our kids on a bus and we treated that like it was a travel game. And then we went 45 minutes down the road a week later to Pike Road and really treated that like a true travel game. We showed up 2 hours prior to when we were going to start that. We went through our warm-up routine. Our coaches set up in the press box and took our headsets. And it gave us an opportunity to work out some kinks and the small things that you don't think about. Maybe somebody forgot their cleats or they forgot to bring their mouthpiece. So that just, again, afforded us opportunity. But we were looking ahead. We see that we're home heavy on the first part of our schedule. And really our first travel game's off of that bye week, September 25th, going right down the road to Auburn High School. So we put our players in a position so they can feel what it's like to travel. We won't change up much from what they've been used to in the past with how we travel and how we win with it.
Yeah, Coach, usually when you take over a program, things aren't going quite right. You come to Opelika, coming off a state championship appearance, lots of really good talented players. A lot of them go on to play collegiately. How has that guided your approach to taking over in this first year?
Yeah, it was really no different than what I stepped into last year, becoming the head coach at Montgomery Catholic. I mean, I stepped into a team and a group that had won back-to-back state championships and had a lot of talented players that were there. And we did not start that season off great. We started out 1-3, and it really came together as a locker room, which is where we put a lot of our focus. I think if you ask any of these guys, the main thing we've done the first month that I was there was learn how to keep our locker room clean, and it starts in the locker room first. But against, the experience that I had last year at Montgomery Catholic, kind of stepping into the same situation here, a team that made it to the state championship team, is filled with talented players. A lot of the learning experiences that happen, they may come off of failures. You don't always have to be successful. At some point in time in life, we're going to fail. And we don't treat failures as losses. We treat those as learning moments. Me personally went through a lot of learning moments last year. I've only been a head football coach for 1 year. I understand what it means to put on the red and black jersey, but that's also a credit to our coaching staff. We've got a coaching staff of about 18 guys, and I've worked with them previously when I was here before, from 2013 to 2022. There's about 8 guys that I've worked with before. And then, one thing that I've learned from my mentors is to delegate. So we've delegated a lot of things. That's allowed some of our processes to get in place to not hopefully get to those points where you have to have some failures and learn off of those. We love being proactive. And but again, my experiences from last year is very similar to what we're stepping into here.
Hey Coach, Cameron Noon, WAK Montgomery. Whenever Bulldog fans go sit in the stands on Friday nights, what is the product that you want them to see on the field?
We want it to be a blue-collar product. Believe in it. We love up on these boys. They're going to run through a brick wall for our coaching staff. It's hard-nosed football, and that hasn't changed from the city of Opelika to as far back as I can remember. We've got a lot of great families that have raised a lot of great young men that are part of our football team. One thing that I can truly say about all 128 that are on our varsity football teams, they love football. They love showing up to work every single day. We've been preaching consistency, and then kind of stepping into that phase where we can get into the intensity part where we're hungry to put those pads back on. And again, there's a little bit of a fire that's been built in our locker room. That's it's again unfortunate we're not playing that week 0 game. There's a lot of things that we're putting into that fire that we take care of inside our own locker room, our own building. And but we want it to be a great product on Friday night. And Bulldog Stadium is an atmosphere like none other in the state of Alabama. We truly are the home of the 12th man, from the spirit of the South to our student section, and all that's led by our administration. Dr. Kevin Davis is a former football coach, and Ms. Kelly Fisher, that's our principal, and our athletic director, Craig Montel. I think they like to compete, and they like to win more than I do, and that's a good group to work for. So again, we're trying to put a good product on the field on Friday nights. We're gonna have a lot of fun. We got a couple things planned for that opening home game that's hopefully turn into some new traditions that we're looking forward to starting.
Coach, let's get our guys up there. Trey, we'll start with you, get you up. Introduce yourself. I guess I just did. Introduce yourself, say what position you play in. Tell us what it means coming back from last year, going to the championship game, and coming back this year with a chance to win it.
Trey Stone, senior linebacker. It just means a lot getting experience, going to the state championship game. So, going last year, that was the main goal, is just to get there. So now that we've got there, just the main focus will be to win it next time. So we're tired of getting red maps down at Opelika, ready for blue maps. We've been to 3 already, so finally being that group to get 1.
Nice job. All right, you did your homework. All right, who's next? Just tell us your name and your thoughts.
My name is Darius Wigglow. I play offensive line. And I really just think it's going to be, we got the same team, and this offense, Coach Hodges, we got a new passing game. It's really a lot more spread, but in my opinion, I love to run the ball. We still can run the ball, so I hope y'all know that. But yeah, we're a team, we come together, we take a lot of time outside of school, football field, hanging out together. That's all it's going to be about.
All right, let's get the next 3. One at a time.
Can you repeat your question, please?
Yeah, say your name and tell us what it's about last year, and then playing for a champion, getting a chance to come back this year, maybe get all the way and win the championship.
I'm Brandon Howard. I play corner and receiver at Opelika. Really last year we did a lot, but we fell short. And instead of a red map, we want a blue map, of course, like Trey said. We try to be one special group to finally get it done and make history at Opelika. And this year I feel like we have the team to do that. And it's about staying consistent, just playing your part, playing your role, and bringing everybody with us.
Coach, they know they're hitting. All right.
Reese Beasley, kicker punter. Last year, it was great to get there. We showed a lot of adversity going through it, but again, that was last year. It's a new year. We started with the locker room first. Later today, all seniors will be getting together at the IPF, hanging out, just eating good food, just hanging out, getting closer together as brothers. But it's not just seniors, it's the whole team. We all call ourselves brothers. It's a brotherhood at Opelika, and I think that's what we carry ourselves on. And during practice, it's all about being consistent. The hardest thing for us to do as teenagers is be consistent, and that's what we try and do every day, is just be consistent, and I look forward to playing the rest of the season.
That's hard for everybody. Good job. Next one.
Money Thomas, I'm a defensive tackle. Last year it was great getting there. We put in the work to get there. All of my brothers here on this stage, but we all know what it takes to get there again. And so right now we have to have that windshield mentality. It's the reason that the windshield is bigger than the rearview mirror. And so what happened last year, we had to put that in our past, and we got to keep going and striving to be the best that we can be.
Now, Money, didn't you get to go and represent Opelika somewhere real big,
Yes,
real
sir.
special?
Yes,
Tell
sir.
everybody about that. I got you, Coach.
Like 2 weeks ago, I went to Indianapolis for a leadership conference. Not only did I get to represent my school, Opelika, but I got to represent the whole state of Alabama. It was a great honor to go to Indianapolis because I got to be surrounded around a lot of people that had common interests. Going into the event, I was like, I'm going to this, and a lot of us don't have anything in common, but when I got there, we all had the same common trait, which was leadership. So being around other common leaders and learning other things about what to bring back into the locker room, about having a flip your 20 mindset, where your day could be going bad, but you got to tell yourself that today's going to be a good day. As Coach JC always tell us that instead of saying good morning, we got to say great morning. Today's going to be a great day.
Congratulations, well done. And I want to bring it up, Coach.
Thank you very much. You took the words out of my mouth right there. Money is a great representation and ambassador, and you know it's a testament to our football team and our football program, the things that have been built here before. Two of the guys that are on stage here, Money Thomas and Trey Stone, are also emissaries at Opelika High School, which are the Red Coat ambassadors. And I think with some of your better players on your team are also great leaders and great ambassadors for your school and your city, I think that speaks volumes. So we're very proud of them for the things that they continue to do. But once again, we thank iHeartRadio and Fox Sports The Game and First Baptist Church of Opelika for hosting this event. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Coach Chandler. Thank you, guys. Good job. All right.